Friends and family, I would like you to check out blackcommunityspeak.com. Now, blackcommunityspeak.com is a forum-based website, so something that's very simple, where you can get on, you can get off, get involved with a lot of topics. Now, Black Community Speaks is a place that's for black men and women to talk about issues that's affecting the entire community. So on blackcommunityspeak.com, they talk about topics in the range of news, what's going on in society, relationships, technology, business, food and recipes, gaming, health and fitness, music, and many, many more. On Black Community Speak, it's a place where you can be safe to say what you want to say without the fear of big tech censorship. So make sure you head on over to blackcommunityspeak.com and sign up today. So as we know that our brother, Marcel Dixon, he did not, win his election. On our podcast, we broke down the whole thing with the voting. Only 54,000 people voted when you had about, I think they say 400,000 registered voters. So basically most people sat it out, and Clyburn didn't even get 50,000 votes himself. But yes, Clyburn did get the majority of the vote, and I broke down, all of that on the podcast. So make sure you go to the Philip Scott Audio Experience YouTube channel, and then you can listen to, my breakdown of that particular election and different things that I had advised Brother Marcel Dixon to do since, this particular situation. But, the rank and file Democrats was really scared of Marcel. They sent Kamala Harris down there. They sent all these Democrat shields to attack Marcel, constantly. And even after the election, they were gloating about Marcel losing the election. They were gloating. They was excited that he lost the election, because Marcel was speaking things that they didn't like. Listen, I'm thoroughly convinced the rank and file black person in America don't like any kind of candidates that want to focus on black people. As I stated in the podcast, they get offended by that. They get hella offended by that because they don't believe they should be prioritized. Just like with Clyburn, when George Stephanopoulos on ABC asked him, what would you like, for Biden to do for you since you helped him get elected? Clyburn say, want something? I don't want nothing. And that's his generation's thought process. They don't want nothing. As long as they get their Social Security checks. Now, if the Democrats mess up their Social Security checks, you gotta believe they'll be talking about voting for somebody else. But as long as they get their checks, they're good. They say, screw the younger black people. I'm good. I don't want the boat rocked. That generation don't want to hear no talk of no young people, period. But in the process of gloating, you had Bakari Sellers show up talking to Marcel. So let's look at that real quick. So Bakari's Sellout said, y'all out here running campaigns on Twitter and Democratic message boards while getting waxed on election day. So Marcel just kind of responded and said his hometown has not had clean water in over a decade. He said it is a corridor of shame. Say where poverty, and academic failure is high. It said we are the 6th poorest district in the United States. It said we have lost our land, and he celebrates more of this. There's a special place in hell, it said, for these raccoons. So he ended up responding, Bakari Sellout. He said instead of being part of the change you want, it said to see, come on Twitter, insult and yell names. It was so effective. You got 2,000 votes. He said, you should let me take you to lunch and have a real conversation. If you're serious, if not, stay on Twitter and be an influencer. Well, what's wrong with being an influencer? What's wrong with that? Influencers influence. And guess what influence is going to do, Bakari Sellout? We're going to influence the midterms. That's what we're going to do, because let's call it what it is. A lot of people nationally were supporting Marcel, and he had more national support. You understand? The local support that's there is a lot of older people who aren't on Twitter. I explained what Marcel could do in the podcast. Go listen to that to expand himself. But Marcel is known nationally now. He's been on many different platforms. OK, he is just getting started. But why would Bakari Sellout go and try to gloat? How could you, Bakari, tell Marcel anything? You didn't win any kind of election either. You lost too. It's not like you won any type of office and then Now you could just tell him what he needs to do. You sit up there and you smile in front of them folks' face all the time. That's all you do is smiling with them folks. Now, that what you wanted Marcel to do? Hey, Marcel, you can't be like that, Marcel. You got to smile in front of these folks. Is that what you want him to do? But if he was so insignificant, why are you responding to it? Why are you happy and celebrating about a guy who only ran his campaign for about 7-8 months? He was an unknown. He didn't have a war chest like Trump or something like that, right? Trump understood marketing. Trump understood everything. That's how he won. Trump was very, very good at marketing. Marcel didn't have marketing like that. Marcel didn't have a whole lot of things that I could see what would help him even get known. He was being sabotaged. Clyburn didn't even want to do a debate at all, which all candidates should be forced to do a debate. At least one, maybe two. You know what I'm saying? Closer to election day. People need to see your positions on, what you want to do. And that's one way for candidates to be seen, is to do a debate. Clyburn didn't even want to do one. And they allowed him to get away with that. Then all the janky stuff they was doing at the polls, which we know how the janky things they do at polls. Okay, you know what? You could tell me that guy that we got now got 80-some million votes. He got more votes than Obama? How? How did he get more than Obama? Man, every black person I knew goddamn voted, including myself. But I will tell you this, Bakari. I'm gonna tell you this, brother. You gonna see the difference with influencers. Since you talking down on the influencers, okay, no problem. Well, this is what influencers are saying in unison now. Since black Americans aren't getting anything, no problem. See, what the influencers are going to do, we're going to preach the same message, is that since we're not getting nothing from the Democrat Party, we're preaching the message of sit it out. Or we're going to preach the message with, if you want to do a protest vote to spite the Democrats, then vote Republican. Yes, we're saying that. Now, all you shucking and jiving and scared black folk, he said Republican? Oh, my God. You're spiting yourself, you vote for them. At least some other groups not getting nothing. I don't care. I don't depend on politics to put my daily bread in my mouth. I don't depend on no politician to keep the lights on. I don't do that. But when it comes to politics, I'm talking about things that we need. And if we're not going to get nothing out of the deal, I'm not giving no vote to Democrats. Now, we know the geriatrics is going to go vote for them in our community. I get it. I expect it. Please don't think that they're going to just all of a sudden, no. You may have some that open their eyes to it, but it won't be the majority. I promise you that. It will not be the majority whatsoever. But look at what's going on even in that district of South Carolina. 400,000 people that I think was registered to vote, and only 54,000 people voted. 54,000. Clyburn got more people voted for him in 2020. I think he had either 140,000, 160,000, somewhere around there. You mean to tell me nobody voted for Clyburn? Is that really a win for Clyburn? Bakari, is it really a win? 54,000 votes. The majority of people sat it out. So don't tell me about influencers that, oh, you want to sit on Twitter being an influencer. That's the best thing you could be. Because being a quote unquote influencer have taken me to other countries in the world. And people have known me in other countries that I'm like, I've never been in this country before. And people have recognized me. Because y'all need these so-called black media platforms that even on TV, shoot, they don't want to talk to you because you're scared of your job. See, people like me and others, you're threatening for your job with us. You see that, oh, shoot, I can't let them on, to even be a guest up here because Master gonna hire them and get rid of me. That's exactly what it is. When you see certain people not being on certain platforms, even if they so-called black, it's because they're threatened by them. They're threatened by them. They know who you are. They know who I am. Trust me, they know. Oh, there's a lot of platforms that know who I am, But I don't. But see, I'm good though because I made my decision a long time ago. I'd rather be on African TV because I like that better. I can talk about Black America. I can talk about the diaspora, and I am what we consider like an expert in it when I talk to them. In this country, they just trying to sabotage. You're dealing with the bootleg people like Bakari there. You know, the Roland Martin crowd, them. But Marcel don't really have nothing to feel bad about. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing. He did the best he could. You know, he raised $100,000 in a short amount of time. You know, he was going against the Democrat machine. And they play very, very dirty. And I learned that back when my cousin ran for office. I learned how dirty they are with their tactics. They are not honorable people. They're not. And we see how it is. Biden just sit up here and gave another $1.6 billion to Ukraine. But black folks and others over here can't put gas in their car. Food is high. Shortages. But Biden and the Democrats giving money to everybody, you know, but can't give nothing here. So what's the why would I promote to vote for that? Why? Why would I promote that? It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to go to no restaurant where I'm getting an empty plate and I'm watching everybody else get full. Ain't happening. So no, black folks, we're going to sit it out. We need to teach y'all a lesson. Go ask the LGBT, go ask the white community, go ask the Ukrainians, go ask the Afghanistan people, go ask the Asian community, go ask all these different groups. Immigrants that come over here, go ask them to vote for you. But then I just heard the other day, Latinos said the Democrats ain't done nothing for them. I just heard Asians say the Democrats ain't done nothing for them. I say, what? Did y'all just really say that the Democrats didn't do nothing for y'all? These people not even appreciative. Black folk, if you just do something enough for us, we hella appreciative. These other groups say you ain't done crap. And Biden and them have bent over backwards for these other groups. But for black folks, he like, man, F y'all. I ain't giving y'all nothing. And you still gonna vote for me. Because, hey, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And y'all still voted for him. Stacey Abrams said the reason why we can't even say we black because it offends other people. Right? Stacey Abrams told you that should have got you galvanized. No. Y'all were like, well, you know, I understand what Stacey talking about. You know, white people, they you know, how they are. They can't, you know, don't like us talking like that. And, you know, we can't just look out for ourselves. And that Marcel, you know, he's just not right for that. You know, we not the only one living in this country. It's everybody living here. That's why I couldn't support Marcel. I mean, yeah, I agree with him on, you know, some issues in Black America, but he just don't want to help everybody. That's what it is. If you go to Congress, he would have to vote on bills that's for the country. But, you know, as I stated before, the majority, 2/3 of our Black American community are politically remedial. It's just the truth. We have to really get honest about the Black community in America. And if nobody won't be honest, I'll be honest. I'll start being the honest guy. I said, because I'm kind of done with some of that shielding our responsibility to a point. Because, you know, everybody want to focus on white supremacy, which white supremacy is definitely a big cause of our problems. But we don't talk about how we hurt our own selves in our forward progress. See, if we was all on code with each other, we can deal with the white supremacists. But how you going to deal with the white supremacists when you being your throat being cut by your own? Your own is sabotaging you. How you going to have far? So we got to start calling out our own. Just like the Haitians did in 1804. They dealt with their own first before they went at the French. And we got to be like that. We got to deal with our own first if you want some sort of forward movement in America. But if you don't want to deal with our own first, that's no problem. You're going to be still sabotaged. You're going to be, well, you're actually in a permanent underclass position now, and it's getting a lot worse if you don't deal with our community first. It's period. But y'all let me know what y'all think about Bakari Sellout here, you know, just going after Marcel, all the stuff he could have been talking about, but he's worrying about Marcel. It lets you know they was afraid. They sent Kamala down there. Oh, they was afraid. They was really concerned about that particular seat.
Is it hard to access affordable, healthy food? Then listen carefully. Darrell Addison, an African-American inventor, has patented a process for growing food on demand. He called it Torpedo Pot. Torpedo Pot is a fully automated flower pot that gives you control over your plant's environment. All you do is add soil, seeds, and plants to the flower pot and watch it grow. Yes, Torpedo Pot grows the rest. Visit www.torpedopot.com